Hi there, I'm Gary, welcome to my channel and welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm opening the 13th Matchbox Challenge box sent to me by one of my channel supporters, Simon John. He very kindly sends me kits made by Matchbox, a company active in the UK in the 1970s and 80s, and one which holds a certain, I don't know, nostalgia to many older model makers such as myself. He sends them and I promise to make them, but I always open the box he sends on camera. If you enjoy the show, do please remember, don't keep it to yourself. Let YouTube know by giving it the imperial thumbs up on the like button. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell to hear about all my future videos. So let's see what Simon has sent me this time. Okay, so here we are with the Matchbox Challenge kit. I've taken off the address labels, as you can see, to protect the innocent, also the sender's label from the back as well. Now let's make a start by cutting into these pieces of packing tape. It's always so exciting, this part, seeing what we might end up with. I think there's another one down there, isn't there? Yeah. There we go. Right, so let's see what we have inside. We have Simon's Matchbox Challenge again, but what is it? What is the Matchbox Challenge kit? It was quite light. Let's get rid of the box. So, well, it's easy to undo this time. Normally it's a lot harder. Oh, and I've just seen what it is. Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting because it is the Matchbox Westland Wessex in 1/72nd scale. Why is this interesting? Because of course the Airfix Wessex is coming out very, very soon. This is very exciting. I love a Wessex. I've flown in them several times. I absolutely adore a Wessex. When we went to the launch of the Seeking kit, was it summer before last, I think it was, down in the West Country, we were going around, you could clamber on all these different things. And yes, the Seeking's interesting, but this is what I wanted to get back into. Absolutely lovely. Look at this. Rogers at Bury St Edmunds was selling this at £1.99. £1.99. It's still got the cellophane. You know, you're kind of not entirely sure I want to do anything with this. However, I must. It's a Matchbox kit and I need to build it. So what have we got? We have a scheme for an aircraft of 845 Naval Air Squadron from HMS Bulwark in 1966, which is also the cover aircraft. And the alternative, which is what I will probably do, is the Wessex from number 725 Naval Air Squadron, Royal Australian Navy, based at Nowra in 1963, only because I really like the scheme and I like a kangaroo on an airframe. So that is absolutely exceptional. Simon, what a beautiful thing, and what a beautiful idea, given that the Airfix one is imminent. I guess I'm going to have to get on with this fairly soon. Anyway, let's have a look and see what we get inside here. You know, actually still the seal, the original seal on the kit. Absolutely amazing. There we go. Look how beautiful that box art is. Isn't it lovely? It's so lovely. It's a nice scheme as well, but no, the Australian one is going to be mine. 3 colour plastic, as you can see. Yeah, it's a level 3 out of 4, so that's quite, quite a cheeky little kit there. Like most Matchbox kits of the day, it opens at the end. I think. There we go. I always used to have problems opening them in the old days as well, to be perfectly honest. There we go. So there's the fuselage in green. Actually, it looks quite nice. raised panel lines, but yeah, not the end of the world. Rest of it in grey here. And then rotors and a few of the other ancillaries and stuff like that in this interesting sort of green grey. Like a dark version of interior green. Decals are here behind this crinkly old looking sheet, but when we pull the sheet off gently, the decals are not too bad in colour. They are of their age in terms of print quality and registration, but not terrible, I don't think. We'll find out later, won't we? There's a clear frame as well. I wonder if anyone does a mask set for this. I'll probably have to cut one myself. And then the assembly instructions, which as usual open up into a huge sheet. So there we go, all the assembly instructions. I mean, it's not going to be that, I don't think it's going to be that fiddly a thing. I don't suspect. What I think it will be is it will require some quite accurate building. Interesting, it comes with the option for a tail fold. I don't know if it comes with an actual rotor fold. No, it doesn't. But you can have a tail fold, which is fine. Odds to have a tail fold and not a rotor as well, because that's the other thing that makes it fit where it's supposed to be. But there we go. There is a tail fold. Yeah, it's not that terrible a looking kit. You know what? Yeah, it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Let's have a look at some of this plastic. So here's the body of the aircraft. As you can see, it's okay. It's not terribly moulded. The main thing is that these are raised panel lines, which is going to be a bit of a pain. Am I going to sit there forever sort of chivying these out? I really don't think I am. It's just, that's a lot of work to get that done. But you know what? They look okay. I'm sure they'll look fine when they're built, actually, but we'll see. Yeah, engine covers, exhausts, and so on. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. Is there anything on the inside of interest? Quite often they have the build year on the inside. No, not here. Usefully, it does say made in England, which will probably date it quite well. Again, the nose section's okay. It's not terrible, but all of these panels are raised, of course. But it looks alright. Sure, we can make something decent out of this. Absolutely sure we can. The rotor blades look okay to me. Of course, the weakness is going to be this joint, how that joint's put together. That's where you're going to determine the strength of the rotor disc. I think it's just a flat plate connection. Yeah, it looks like just a flat plate connector. So that's going to, you have to make sure we leave it to set good and proper for that to be strong enough to display. But nonetheless, a very nice looking kit indeed. Again, we can see there's a little bit of drying and of the maybe this has got a damp. I don't know if it's got that damp. It's just sort of age spots really. The emergency cut lines are there. These warning signs, they're not great, but you know, they're red triangles with some stuff around the side. I don't know how much more detail we can expect really out of these. It's difficult to see the colours on here. They're okay. The kangaroos don't look terribly happy. I think kangaroos are a little bit more upright and alert looking on on roundels myself, but anyway, those are the ones I'll be using, the Royal Australian Navy ones, and there's some from the Royal Navy here as well. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not that great. You wouldn't, you know, Cartograph would be like another world compared to these. But you know what, they'll probably be okay for this build. And there we go, we do find eventually on the side, copyright 1987, Matchbox International Limited, printed and made in England. So there we go. It's a 1987 kit and it was made over here. So I'm very much looking forward to building this little beauty, the Westland Wessex. There it is, a nice looking kit, and it will be interesting to compare with the recent Airfix version. Thanks as always, Simon. I think I'm going to enjoy putting this together. Now, if you've enjoyed the film, do please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and click on the notifications button as well. Thank you so much for watching today, and goodbye.